Pretty in Pink came out in 1986 and did something the decade rarely attempted. Made a film about class and belonging, where the girl from the wrong side of the tracks built her own dress rather than getting a makeover. Here is what the people who made that world have been through since. James Spader was 25 when he made one of the smartest decisions of his early career, turning down the lead role of Blaine in Pretty in Pink to play the villain instead. The studio offered him the romantic lead, and he said no, asking specifically for Steph McKee, the linen-suited rich kid who smokes in school hallways and treats everyone around him as an inconvenience. He played Steph as a burned-out 30-year-old stockbroker stranded in a teenager's body, bored and quietly destructive, which is why the character remains one of the most memorable 80s film villains who never throws a single punch. Before Pretty in Pink, Spader had been supporting himself in New York by shoveling manure, driving a meat truck, and teaching yoga. He married set decorator Victoria Keel in 1987, had 2 sons with her, Sebastian and Elijah, and divorced in 2004. He has been with actress and sculptor Leslie Stephenson since 2002, having met her on a film set, and they have a son together, Nathaniel, born in 2008. After Pretty in Pink came sleazy yuppie roles, then sexually daring 90s indie films, then 3 Emmy Awards playing the same character across 2 separate television shows. A decade on the blacklist followed. He has spoken about obsessive-compulsive traits that make him demanding but extraordinarily precise on set, and co-stars have noted a near-photographic memory that lets him glance at a script once and recite it back. He is now 66, and in 2026 returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Vision Quest. In the original version of Pretty in Pink, Ducky got the girl. Jon Cryer was 20 during filming, and the script ended with Andy choosing her devoted best friend over the rich boy. Test audiences in 1986 hated it. Teenage girls and focus groups said they wanted Andy to end up with the cute rich kid, and the studio forced reshoots. Cryer has never hidden his disappointment, and that original ending remains one of cinema's most discussed roads not taken. He came from genuine theater royalty. His mother is songwriter Gretchen Cryer, and his father actor David Cryer, which meant performance was always in his blood. His first marriage to British actress Sarah Trigger in 1999 ended in a contentious divorce in 2004 that escalated into an FBI investigation after threats were made against his life, forcing 2.5 Men to temporarily film without a live studio audience to protect him. He married entertainment reporter Lisa Joyner in 2007, and they adopted a daughter, Daisy, in 2009. They remained together in 2026. The years after Pretty in Pink were rough. A string of failed sitcoms gave him the show killer label, before 2.5 Men changed everything in 2003, earning him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. He later played Lex Luthor in the CW's Supergirl universe. As of 2026, he is starring in an off-Broadway revival and voicing a character in the animated film Minions and Monsters. Iona is Pretty in Pink's cool, older woman, all constantly changing wigs and avant-garde fashion, and Annie Potts designed that look herself. When the costume department brought standard options, she brought in her own wardrobe and built Iona's entire visual identity from scratch. She was 32 during filming, already building toward a remarkable career. Ghostbusters had come out the previous year. Designing women was about to make her a television household name, and she would later become the voice of Bo Peep across 4 Toy Story films before a new generation found her as Meemaw in Young Sheldon. She has been married 4 times, finding a lasting partnership with director James Heyman in 1990. They have been together over 35 years and have 2 sons together, including Doc Heyman, who worked as a writer and producer on Young Sheldon. What audiences watching the film never knew was what Potts had been managing since 1973, when she was 21 and drunk drag racers demolished the VW bus she was traveling in with her first husband. She broke nearly every bone below her waist and lost the heel of her right foot entirely. More than 20 surgeries followed, including an ankle replacement in 2022, and she has managed chronic pain throughout her entire career without ever making it public. In January 2026, she began starring in the Fox medical comedy Best Medicine, which was renewed for a 2nd season in March. She is now 73. The reshoot that gave Pretty in Pink its ending created a quiet absurdity Andrew McCarthy has been joking about ever since. He played Blaine McDonough, the sensitive rich boy who nearly loses Andy to his own cowardice. And by the time filming resumed for the new ending, he had already shaved his head for a Broadway play. The final prom scene where he kisses Andy was shot with him in a cheap, ill-fitting wig. If anyone had known the film would still be discussed 40 years later, he says, they would have spent more on hairpieces. He had been drinking heavily since age 12 by the time he filmed Pretty in Pink at 22, a fact he concealed throughout his Brat Pack years. He got sober in 1992 and has written candidly about managing a serious addiction while filming some of the decade's most romantic scenes. He married Carol Schneider in 1999, divorced in 2005, and married Irish writer Dolores Rice in 2011. His son, Sam, from his first marriage, is now a working actor, known for Dead to Me. After his acting career cooled, McCarthy reinvented himself as a travel writer for National Geographic Traveler and a television director, helming episodes of Orange is the New Black and The Blacklist. He walked the Camino de Santiago with Sam, which became his 2023 book, Walking with Sam. In March 2026, he published Who Needs Friends and starred in The Crucible in Dublin. He is 63. Duckette has no lines in Pretty in Pink. She is simply the smiling blonde who beckons Ducky onto the dance floor at prom, the signal that he too will find love. Kristy Swanson was 15 years old when she played the role, and she was not even part of the original shoot. She was hired specifically for the reshoot, brought in purely to give Ducky a happy ending, after test audiences rejected the original version. Her entire contribution to the decade's defining teen film amounts to a smile and a wave. She went on to become a 90s icon as the original Buffy Summers in the 1992 film Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Her personal life attracted significant tabloid attention in 2006 when she began a relationship with Canadian Olympic figure skater Lloyd Eisler, while he was still married to his pregnant wife. The resulting scandal was considerable, though she and Eisler married in 2009 and have a son together, Magnus. They remain married in 2026. Swanson has since emerged as a notably outspoken conservative voice in Hollywood, frequently drawing controversy on social media for her support of Donald Trump and her criticism of liberal politics, often engaging in heated public exchanges with fans and other celebrities. In late 2021, she was hospitalized with severe COVID-19 complications, an experience she documented publicly. She is now 56, still acting in faith-based independent films and appearing regularly at 90s nostalgia conventions, where Buffy fans still line up to meet the original Slayer. Harry Dean Stanton played Jack Walsh, Andy's unemployed but deeply loving father, whose confession about lying about having a job is Pretty in Pink's emotional anchor. John Hughes reportedly wrote the role specifically for him, wanting an actor who could convey decades of private loss without saying much. And Stanton didn't need much direction. He was 59 during filming, which meant he had already lived an extraordinary life that almost nobody on set would have guessed from looking at him. He served as a U.S. Navy cook during the Battle of Okinawa in World War II. He never married, once summarizing his philosophy on relationships with the line, "I like to visit, but I don't want to live there." The most significant romance of his later life was with actress Rebecca De Mornay, nearly 33 years his junior, who left him for Tom Cruise in a split that reportedly devastated him. His career was a long, slow accumulation of cult legend. Alien, Repo Man, Cool Hand Luke, Paris, Texas. He played guitar between takes on the Pretty in Pink set, a habit that reportedly shaped the mood of his scenes. The film Lucky, released in 2017, was written as a love letter to his life and philosophy, and he died just days after it came out at the age of 91. In 2026, his centennial birth year, a 4K restoration of Paris, Texas, toured art house cinemas in New York and Los Angeles in his honor. Pretty in Pink is dedicated to Alexa Kenin. That dedication appears in the end credits, and it is the only credit she would never see. She died on September 10, 1985, at 23, just months after filming Wrapped, and almost a year before the film was released. She played Gina, Andy's spirited friend from gym class, bringing a distinct energy to every moment that made her memorable despite limited screen time. She had been acting since childhood, first appearing professionally at age 10 opposite Jason Robards in a 1972 television film. By her early 20s, she had co-starred with Clint Eastwood in Honky Tonk Man and appeared in Little Darlings, establishing herself as a rising character actress with real potential. Pretty in Pink was her final performance. She was single at the time of her death, found in her Manhattan apartment. The official cause was listed as complications from asthma, though rumors of foul play and drug overdose circulated for decades afterward. No evidence ever emerged to challenge the coroner's ruling, and the asthma finding stands. She was the daughter of Dr. Michael Kenin and actress Maya Kenin. Her stepfather was character actor John P. Ryan. She was 23 years old. In 2026, film communities still discuss what she might have become, and her name appears in the credits of a film that outlived her by 4 decades. Molly Ringwald cried when she first saw the prom dress she would spend the rest of her life being asked about. The costume designer had built something she considered unwearable, and she spent the finale of Pretty in Pink performing in a dress she openly hated, trying to sell romantic triumph in something she never believed in. She still owns it today, kept in storage somewhere across the decades. She was 17 when she played Andy Walsh, the girl from the wrong side of the tracks who makes her own clothes rather than bending to a world that doesn't fit her. She fought to get Robert Downey Jr. cast as Ducky. The studio refused. She married French writer Valérie Lamonnière in 1999, divorced in 2002, and married Greek-American writer Panyo Giannopoulos in 2007. They have 3 children, daughter Matilda, now beginning her own acting career, and twins Adele and Roman. She spent much of the 1990s living in Paris to escape her own fame, becoming fluent in French. Her adult career built into something on its own terms: fiction author, jazz singer, French translator, Archie's mother in Riverdale, and the writer of a landmark New Yorker essay re-examining John Hughes' films through the lens of the Me Too movement. A difficult public reckoning with the work that made her. She is now 58 and in August 2026 appears in the Universal Pictures comedy One Night Only. The 2 roles she passed on that still stop conversations, Pretty Woman and Ghost, both of which went on to define other actresses entirely.